Hey, it's Archdad, and today I'm going to show you how to install Davinci Resolve Studio version 20.3.1, which was just released today on December 18th, 2025. This was a royal pain for me to figure out, but I did it, and I'm going to show you how I did it, and it's going to save you hours of frustration because that's what I went through today. You'll notice by the timestamps, you can see right now it's 4:27. When you look at the start, the initial, what's supposed to be the real start of this video, you're going to see how long I've been battling this. But once I figured it out, it's not a hard solution. It's just like it was. We're very similar to what the process was before, with a couple of different steps, just because of something wrong in the AUR right now. But anyway, I know it's tiny, but you can see right there, version 20.3.1. And just of note, in the previous video, I mentioned it works in Wayland when you run it. But what I found out, because I just tried this a little while ago, was trying to install Davinci Resolve 20.3.1 while still in a Wayland session failed miserably. So I'm going to follow my own advice from the last video and switch the session to X11 during the install, and then I'll switch back to Wayland afterward, the fact. Once I get it installed, and then hopefully everything will be just fine. So we'll start the process just like we did last time. We'll bring up a terminal and we'll NVIDIA SMI just to make sure that the GPU is recognized. It is. Okay. And then pacman as needed. OpenCL and NVIDIA and CUDA. And I put -- needed on there just in case these are already installed on my system or your system when you're going through it. If they are, it's just going to skip them. If you leave needed off, it might reinstall them, or not might, it will. So it's a good idea just to attach that on as a safety net so you don't overwrite anything that you didn't want to. And proceed with the install. All right, once that's all done, we have to install X11 if you have it already. If you don't, just install it here now. If you do have it or you're not sure, just use -- needed again, just to make sure. So we're going to install Xorg and Plasma X11 session and fast fetch. We'll use fast fetch just to show what session we're in. So Xorg, let me make sure I spelled that correctly. Plasma X11 session and then fast fetch. Okay. I'm looking for anything NVIDIA, etc., but I don't see anything like that in there. So I'm just going to go enter for all. There's 2 providers available for man. We'll default to 1 and proceed. So running fast fetch now is going to show us that we're currently in a Wayland session. And like I mentioned, I tried to install this with Wayland, or being in a Wayland session didn't work. Previously, when I installed it in an X11 session and then switched back to running it within Wayland, that was fine. But for some reason, the install in Wayland doesn't want to work. So right now, what we'll need to do is log out and log back in again in an X11 session. So because I just installed X11, I'm going to actually reboot just to make sure that everything is going to be happy upon a restart. And then at the login screen, I'm going to choose the dropdown. It's likely defaulting to Wayland, so click on Wayland and then choose X11. So I can't record that entire process, so I'm going to do that right now and come back again and restart the recording. All right, I'm back from rebooting and logging in under an X11 session, which we can confirm with fast fetch. So you can see now it's showing KWin X11 instead of Wayland. If you don't see that in yours, make sure you log out and then select X11 instead of Wayland in the dropdown that will appear on your login screen. So in SDDM, it's at the bottom left where it'll say Plasma Wayland. If you click on that, it'll allow you to choose Plasma X11 and then log in and verify with fast fetch, and then you're good to continue. And now we're going to make a directory called repos. Oh, I already did that. Sorry. That was in the previous video when I installed Yay already. So disregard that. If you don't have one, make one. It's nice to keep all of your Git cloned projects in a folder rather than just having your home directory flooded with them. And now, if you have Yay installed already, the next part's not going to be for you, but if you don't, Yay is what we're going to use to communicate with the AUR, which is the Arch user repository, to grab the dependencies and a few other things that we need to make this install work. So I already have that done because I used Yay to install my browser and a couple of other things, but I'll just show you quickly how to do it. And that is, first you need git, so sudo pacman s needed git. I already have it, so it's not going to let me install it now. But if you don't, just run through the install for git. And then once you do have that, then git clone aur.archlinux.org/yay.git. And that's going to bring in the Yay package for you, and you'll be able to compile it from there. So I'm not going to run it because I already have it there. But if you run that last command that I just showed you on there and then go into Yay, you'll see only the package build in there. And if you don't have this installed already, if you do have it, don't run this. But if you don't have it installed already, just make PKGSI and let it run through everything. And then you'll have Yay installed on your system. So back to repos. We're going to use git again here to git clone into, and this is for everybody now. The previous was just for those that didn't have Yay installed or Git installed on their systems yet, but everybody else continue from here. So git clone aur.archlinux.org/Davinci Resolve Studio. And then cd into Davinci Resolve Studio. See, there's a couple of files in there. We're going to remove the PKG build file. So sudo rm PKGBUILD. We're removing that because there's a different one that we're going to grab from GitHub that's going to work for this install process. So now head over to your browser and search for Davinci Resolve Support Center, or just go to blackmagicdesign.com/support. And in the left column is where you'll find the newest software. And as you can see today, Davinci Resolve has been updated to 20.3.1. So we're going to click on Linux. Actually, almost made a mistake there. I don't want Davinci Resolve. I want Davinci Resolve Studio. So just scroll down a little bit further to 20.3.1 or whatever version it is today when you're looking to install this. And then click on Linux. And download only. And the download is starting. And while it's doing that, we're going to go over to github.com/muflone/package builds /blob/master/Davinci Resolve Studio /PKG build. I'm going to put this link for you in the comments or my description, I guess, so you don't have to worry about trying to read that tiny little font. But when you head over there, you'll find a package build file. It's for version 20.2.3, but it's what I used previously to install 20.2. And I'm going to use it now to install 20.3. So just click on this little copy icon right here, copy raw file, and then head back to your terminal and sudo nano pkg build, and then Control-Shift-V to paste it in. It says, are you sure you want to paste this many characters? Continue. And now roll back up to the top. And you can see package version is on 20.2.3. If we go to our browser, you can see we're downloading 20.3.1 right now. So we're going to change that. So 20.3.1. And we're going to come back to this. So we'll save it right now. But we're going to come back to it and we're going to change this hash, the first one, not the second one, just the first one. But we have to wait for that download to complete first. So Control X, save modified buffer Y, and just save it as PKGBUILD. All right, now that that's completed, I'm just going to copy that over to my repos directory and then Davinci Resolve Studio. Paste it in there. And then I'm going to close the browser. Don't need that any longer. And now we can see we've got that new download right there. So version 20.3.1. So we need to get the hash for that because their package build has a hash in it already, but that's for the previous version that it was made for. So we are going to grab the hash of this new one. So we're going to use or do it by typing SHA256 sum and then pasting that file name or typing it in if you want to type it in and you know you'll be accurate with it, and enter. So it'll take a few seconds for it to calculate the hash of this new version. And there it is. So you can select it by double clicking on it or dragging all the way across, whichever you prefer, right clicking and copy. And now sudo nano PKGBUILD. So we're going to go back to that package build file and we're going to change the hash. So this is the one for the previous version. We're going to change it to what we just calculated in our terminal. So just delete that old one and then Control-Shift-V to paste the new one in there. And just to confirm again, we've updated the version to 20.3.1 above. So Control-X, yes, and save it as the same file. So I went through the install a couple of times and it kept failing on the Qt5 web engine install that was done through the AUR with the Davinci Resolve Studio build. Out of 24,000 steps it had to do, it failed every single time. So hours have gone by and I still haven't been able to get it done. But I came across something here by looking right at the Qt5 web engine in the AUR, and this has been pinned. They've pre-built a chroot package right here. So what I've done, I've already downloaded this, but if you go to it and then find Qt5 web engine, and they version right now 5.15.19, download that and then save it into your repos directory. And then I just made one called Qt5. You can see that I've saved it right there. So what we can do before we install this is just check the metadata on this thing. So we're going to go, we're going to go uname m first to make sure we're x86, which is what this package needs. And then inspect the metadata. So sudo, or I don't even need sudo for this, pacman q ip, and then this file name. It's going to give us the info relating to this. So it says it's the Qt5 web engine, what it depends on, what the optional dependencies, and then who packaged it. And this is the name that matches what we saw on the AUR itself. So Fabio Lolix. And it's the pinned comment. So up to you if you want to trust this or not. But the build, it's trying to do it the old way that did work isn't working at all right now. So I'm going to give this a shot and see how it goes. So use me as your guinea pig, I guess. But we're going to install this. So we're going to use sudo pacman u and then that file. It says it can't be upgraded due to unresolvable dependencies. Qt5 web engine. So cannot resolve Qt5 web channel dependency of this. Can't be upgraded due to unresolvable dependencies. Do you want to skip the above package for this upgrade? No is the default, so I'm going to go with that. Failed to prepare transaction, could not satisfy dependencies. So Qt5 web channel. What's that? Is that not available there? Yay, S. Well, it's there in the AUR. And that's the only one that it complained about not being able to resolve. So I'm going to install this now. I'm just going to go with the defaults of enter. And hopefully this isn't one of the ones that's going to take hours again to install, because I've been watching these update screens for quite a few hours today, and it's getting pretty old right now. But I'm determined to find an answer, a solution for this, to get Davinci Resolve fully installed here. So Qt5 web channel packages, proceed, yes. Well, it didn't error out, so that's a good thing. So let's try installing the web engine again. Ooh. Okay, so it didn't complain, and it's showing Qt5 web engine right here, along with a couple of others. Proceed, yes. Did that work? It looks like it did. Okay, so if that was successful, let's just check. Yeah, it looks like it was installed. Okay. Explicitly installed. All right, so that's the first time I've done that. A little unnerving, but it appears that it has worked. So now we're going to go back to installing Resolve. So that's where it got hung up every single time when I was trying to install this. So we'll go back to Davinci Resolve Studio directory. And now we're going to run this command again to pull it all in, pull in the rest of the dependencies from the AUR. And I'm hoping it's going to skip Qt5 web engine now that it realizes that it's already there. So same as before, one Qt5 web sockets. Is that the one we installed up here? No, that's web channel. Okay, packages to clean build. I'm just going to go with the default of none. Error while downloading Davinci, that's fine because that's the old version. We don't need that. Default of no, import the keys, yes. All right. So now let's just see. Qt5 multimedia, quick control. All right, we don't have, what was it called again? Web engines. Web engine's not there, that's good. So it's not trying to reinstall that again. Okay, now what are we installing? GTK, Qt5 WebSockets, okay. Okay, this is good news because last time when I let it run without fail, this Davinci Resolve error is fine because it's looking for the old version, which I'm okay with because we have the new one now. But it was also looking for that other, the Qt5 web engine. It said manual intervention is required. We already satisfied that before running this. So we're further ahead than I have been all day while trying to install this. So now that that's in there, just see what we have in this folder, the package build. Just make sure that I updated that. The version number 20.3.1, and then I've got the new hash in there. 20.3.1. Okay. Now let's see if this works. Make package SI. And it's referencing the new version. That's good. Not the old 20.2.3. It's looking for 20.3.1. And give it my password. All right, this is looking good. Getting to install the package, proceed, yes. All right, it's done. So that's amazing because I've been working this since, I'd have to look at the timestamp again of the start, but early this morning. And we got Davinci Resolve here. All right. Amazing. So before I launch it, all right, I'll do that after actually. So I'm just going to launch it here with opt resolve bin resolve. I could launch it from up here as well if I wanted to, but I just want to do it here just in case there's any errors. I want to be able to see them. Here we are. But it says 20.2, where it clearly is referencing 20.3.1. Okay. Maybe they just didn't update this panel. I hope. Run through the initial setup. Sure, that's good. Undefined. Here we go. Okay, so it's going to want my license key. And as I showed in the previous video, if you just put your license key in there right now, it's not going to work. It's just going to fail. So I'm going to create a new tab and I just have to change permissions of the license file so that it can be writable and take my license key. So sudo chown user. So that's $user $user slash opt slash resolve slash dot license. All right. And I'm going to blur this out so you don't copy my license key, but put yours in here and click on activate. Activated successfully, no activations left. Continue. All right, here we go. Let's find out if we got 20.3.1. Version 20.3.1. Yes, I did it. That is so satisfying after fighting that all day long. And I'm glad that I recorded all of this because it was such a battle. And I wouldn't be able to really explain that as well as just showing you how to do it. So I hope that I've saved you a ton of time by showing you how to do it this way, because the way that we had been doing it up to this point wasn't working any longer. So this is great that it works now. So pat myself on the back. Comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. And we'll see you in the next video, and enjoy creating in Arch Linux with KDE Plasma and Davinci Resolve Studio.